So we're starting off today with this Sultai escape deck. Basically, the idea with this deck is to self-mill with Binding of Titans and Timuric Calls the Dead and Tameo to make sure we have lots of cards in our graveyards. Then we can make sure we can get the escape of Uro and Polychronos. They're very powerful cards to be able to bring back. So those are awesome. There's also Cavalier Thorns to be able to help us mill. Wolf Willow Haven's a good bit of extra ramp, and we've got some good interaction in Murderous Rider and Thought Erasure. Don't forget you can check the Streamdecker link below for the deck list. It will be down in the description below on YouTube, and you can type !deck in chat, or you can use the overlay to be able to see it. So let me just do a quick screenshot and post to social media, and then I will get us in the queue. While we're waiting for standard ranked Sultai escape. Discord's gonna pop up. Let's get that out of the way. Okay, this hand's sweet. Thought Erasure is a good start. Wolf Willow Haven lets us play an early Polychronos as well if we want to do that. We're not playing best of 3. I'll need to fix that for the next one. Let's get our Scry on. Another Cavalier is probably going to be pretty good if we're playing against some kind of white deck. These ones tend to have quite a lot of little flyers. Hunted Witness. So definitely Thought Erasuring here. Want to make sure that they don't play the Loxodon or Unbreakable Formation. Let's just not do that. Yeah, I feel like that one's fine actually. So this isn't actually achieving anything here because none of the creatures are flying. So you're gonna take a little bit of damage here and then be okay. Nope. No. I'd like to enchant my forest. Cast Binding of Titans. Let's get our mill on. So we'll get to gain a life by removing their creature here. Okay, they finally found a flyer. I don't have any creatures, so I'll just have to gain the 1 life. Having a Fabled Passage here is nice, not having to shock to play this Cavalier. Let's get a Black Source. Playing Cavalier means that we can try and give us some more stuff to be able to hit with the Binding. Yeah, so there's an Uro we could play. Probably going to be pretty good. Because we're expecting this to get tapped down next turn, so when it gets tapped, we'll take the 3, we can untap, we can get the Uro back to our hand and escape it, or just cast it, and go from there. Giant Killer works too. What do you reckon? A Fabled Passage? Just to make sure I can hit lands. I got an 8. And then they've got another tappy thing, so they've got lots of things to be able to tap. Stuff with, we're returning Uro to our hand. And then cast Uro. Gain 3 life, draw a card, put this into play. It's going to go away. Can shock in the tomb, fetch up an island here, because I need to be able to make the double blue from this. Play the Cavalier. Put this into play tapped. And there's another 2 Uros in the graveyard, so, and our graveyard's at 14, so we can actually cast 2 of these if we can get another Unbreakable Formation. Well, that's just lethal, so. Okay, or not. They chose not to kill me, so. We go to 1. Because they could have tapped after they declared attacks and didn't for whatever reason, so. Let's start with the Uro. See quite how much life we can gain. Let's go binding. I think we're dead here, but we'll get another blocker into play. They might mess up again. Yeah, they don't have to tap anything here, so. Okay, right, let's move, let's get this into the best of 3 queue, because that was the intention anyways, so. Nothing lost there. Haven't played since ranks reset, so. Can you just, like. Traditional standard ranked, is that what I need to do? Can you not just say, like, why is it traditional? Just say best of 3 and best of 1, like. Stop overcomplicating things. On the play, let's have a look. This one seems fine. Can use a Fabled Passage on 1 and then play a Polychronos on 3. Can't be that bad, can it? I'm going to get a swamp here. No, I'm still going to get a forest. I was thinking, like, there's a chance that if I draw a Thought Erasure, there's a chance I would want to play it this turn, but it just becomes awkward with the lands we've got, so. Yeah, we'll just cast this here and not worry too much about it. Shock this in, play Polychronos, go. One diff, sure. Sure. Let's do the Uro thing. Let's get these Fabled Passages into play. It's going to enable our escape as well. Let's fight the Precinct one. No point trading off with this, it gets Death Touch indestructible, so. another hero, sure. How many cards in graveyard? We got 4. One of them's the Uro, so play Cavalier. Let's get an Overgrown Tomb into play. Is this any creature? It is any creature. Okay. Heliod. Okay. So draining me will put counters on things. Let's see what else they're working with. Theros and Seraph of the Scales. Well, we don't really care about this. I feel like this is that would be a pain if they get to that. So, yeah, I can keep that one actually. Can get rid of the Seraph as well. So I don't need these Thought Erasures, and I don't need the lands, so they can all go. So hero, trigger. Put an island into play, and then Thought Erasure away the Seraph as well. Yeah, I can keep a Murderous Rider. Play a Swamp. Mortify the Uro, sure. So we got the Murderous Rider. 5 cards in the yard. Guess we could just try and trade off his Polychronos. Does give him counters on stuff though. Do this, and then if they sack stuff, we can kill the Pitiless Pontiff in response. Just gonna kill this way. So they can put a counter on something. As soon as they target it, I'm gonna try and kill it. Just to keep things smaller. And I really don't care if I trade off with stuff here, so... I have another Polychronos coming, so it's not a big deal. I've got 1,000,000 mana. So... let's just trade these off. I think I'm just actually going to exile everything else to get an Uro back. That's not true, actually. Polychronos is probably better to wait on. Still got Murderous Rider I can hold up too, so... okay, didn't matter. Awesome. So there's some kind of white deck, so Noxious Grasp seems fine. Don't think I necessarily need the Agonizing Remorses, didn't feel like we were too worried there. Don't really think we need the Quasi-Duplicate. Probably cut Polychronos, just because they have so many little creatures, he's never getting through, it's just going to be like removal spell. Maybe we leave the quasi-duplicate in and just cut all the Polychronos. Let's do that. Because Polychronos isn't amazing here, like, it's gonna help try and push through some stuff, but like, because they're playing a hero deck, they're trying to play tokens, it's just gonna go wide very quickly, and it's gonna be a pain, so if we try and just ignore that, get through them without that, like, Polychronos is very rarely gonna ever hit them, so at that point it's just gonna keep getting smaller and smaller. I think this is okay. It's obviously not amazing, but I think that being able to deal with stuff like Heliod with these Thought Erasers is good. Like, we do only have the 4 Thought Erasers in our deck at this point, so being able to deal with a Heliod this turn would be nice. So yeah, Hero's fine. Yeah, we can take a peek and see what we want to try and deal with here. So they've got a bunch of removal and they've got a Sorin. So I'm just going to take the Sorin. I don't really care about these Noxious Grasps, like it's going to kill an Uro at some point, but that's fine. D-Spark can deal with the Tameo, but that's not a big deal, because we've obviously got this other Thought Erasure that we can cast next turn, so but Sorin's going to be the more painful one, whenever that ends up happening. And yeah, we'll keep a Woeful Haven. Good bit of ramp there. Right, is there a way that I can tap my mana to get blue-black after casting this? I don't think so, without doing the Uro first. So we have to Uro and then we can Thought Erasure. Oh, did I already play a land this turn? Haha, whoops. My bad. I did have a plan, I don't know what it was, but... Just start with the Thought Erasure, get out of the way. Want rid of this D-Spark. Okay, I don't care about Mortify. Another Uro seems great. Right, then we can... I've done it again. Right, okay. I'm gonna stop misplaying in a minute. I had every intention of getting a land there, but I don't want to get rid of this Uro, so I'm gonna play a little bit slicker, but a little bit sharper in a minute. But right now we're just gonna keep fumbling our way through this. Right, so let's fetch up this first of all, just so I don't mess that up again. Let's get another green. Green seems to be a little bit more important here. Actually, I might just go for Tameo here. So, yeah, I don't have enough mana for the Tameo if I Uro as well, so let's just Tameo first. I didn't think of Noxious Grasp it, but that's okay.
Like the phases of the moon.
What do we want to name?
And wanes.
Sure.
To the library.
Guess it is just Cavalier Thorns. Oh! Oh! The value! Opponent, how can you deal with my value? You have no chance. So much value. Oh, and the quasi-duplicate as well. Right, in that case, I should be just tapping like this in case I can quasi-duplicate. Okay, Tome's an interesting one. Don't know if Not gonna have any lands left. Let's find out. Oh, I do. Look at that. How wonderful. 18 cards. This is never gonna be an issue now, so I can kill my stuff if they really want, but I guess they can mortify and draw a card and try and find something else. I want to do it to the one I can actually exile. That's interesting. The one I can actually get value from. Let's take a Thought Eraser. Sure. Uro time. Perfect. Oh, they're legends, that's rude. Right, okay, looking for a blue or black source off this so we can cast the Thought Erasure. Oh, okay, sure. Okay, still gonna cast the Thought Erasure. Just take a basic, no point taking two. Thought Erasure you. Did you find a good one? You didn't. Nor did I. Hero. Oh, it's when it attacks as well. Holy crap. Should have scryed first. I've yet to attack with one of the Titans. I didn't realise it was when they attack as well. Oh, these cards are silly. Yeah, I don't need that. Keep the untapped Uro. Let's make a wolf. And Pontiffs are real good. Yep. Uro, come back. Well, this may be the reason I still need Polychronos in this matchup after board. If I could draw like some kind of spell, that'd be good. Yeah, that's a good one. So I'm going to have 12 cards left in deck. I'll have 8 cards left in deck next turn, so I do need to be slightly careful with my life total and the number of cards I've got left. Yeah, not life total, just the library count is what I meant. Yeah, let's move on to the next one. I've definitely need to have more threats that aren't, because I forgot that these were legendary. Definitely need some more. I think Jace is probably a good one because I can definitely self-mill myself in this matchup. Their graveyards are relevant. I do want the Polychronoses. Calves are maybe a push too far. Maybe I just don't need the grasps, actually. Just don't feel like I actually need to interact with them that much. Yeah, let's give that a bash. On the play. Yeah, this one's fine. Thought Eraser's a good one, yep. So we can Wolf Willow on 2 to Thought Erasure. Oh, we'll get one of these just to get him taken away, that's fine. Yeah, if they take the Wolf Willow away, then... Yeah, this being on top is actually very good because it's the one we actually want. Where am I binding? Okay, they've got a very slow start here too, which is good for us. Alright, let's start with the Uro. If we find a blue source, I'll be Thought Erasering, so... But we didn't, so we get a couple of Scries. Yeah, there's a blue source. Want the second blue source at some point, so may as well just take it now. Hero, sure. And see what we find with this to see which land we need to shock in. So yeah, we get to do that. Find a Polychronos, Thought Erasure you. Don't care about the Corpse Knight. I think Sorin's the one that I actually care about, I think. Don't think I want another Thought Erasure. I don't really care about their hand here, so I'd rather just get these guys in play and get them doing their thing. Yep. I think I'm interested in picking up Tamiyo here. I'm going to give them so many things they're going to have to kill with this Noxious Grasp, but Tamiyo being able to rebuy something is going to be good. So. Right, so do we... I guess we're just gonna Uro here and exile everything but the Polychronos as a start. Be nice if we had another blue source. Like that. Tamiyo's gonna name Cavalier, I think.
Let us see if your talents. I think you will find my notes helpful.
Oh, it's supposed to be Timurt's Call of the Dead. Okay. Yeah, they get to kill one thing here. Whether it's Uro or Tamiyo. Okay, they're just gonna play their stuff out, which is fine. It's definitely still Cavalier now.
Seek and find.
4, 5, 6. So I can fight something as well with the Polychronos, so let's do that. Do I want to attack first, actually? No, let's get the Polychronos in play and then we can exile all these things. He is a 12/12. Uro is attacking. Another Polychronos, that's pretty good. Bulk of the 1/1, sure. I think I'm gonna wait on that doing anything because I think I want them to Noxious Grasp this. So if they do that, then I can just kill something in response. But otherwise, I think I might just pass entirely. Try and get them to just not use the Noxious Grasp so I can have multiple things going on. Yes, you got Vigilance, that's fine. I don't really care about that. Probably going to hit the Tamiyo rather than me.
You could use some manners.
Noxious Grasp the Uro. Sure. I think I'm just supposed to pass to my turn.
I know.
Okay, we found a Cavalier eventually. And we milled an Uro too. Let's start killing things. Okay, well that worked. So let's... Uro exiles the rest of my graveyards. Or anything in my graveyard I care about? No, so let's just Uro. If I find another land, it'd be good just to kind of get that into play. Okay, Binding's a good one as well, actually. May as well attack with this. If you want it dead, they can have it dead, otherwise it's just going to keep eating stuff eventually, so... Another setup, sure. So Tamiyo's down. We do have a Cavalier to block with, which will be fine. So I gain 2 life here. I'm going to fetch up another black source here before I start, I think. Actually, no, we'll get another blue source. You know what, let's attack. Let's attack. Because we get this trigger as well. Someone calls the dead, sure. They're just taking 6, sure. I'm on 20 cards in library, so Cavalier. Timuric calls the dead. Make a zombie. I don't need the Wolf Willow Haven, so it's a nice one to mill. Got access to Polychronos to kill stuff as well, which is good. Polychronos or Murderous Rider. Maybe you do just need this just to be able to push through. Cool, that was a nice one. Nice example of how this deck works. Even with me fumbling about a little bit throughout it, but... Okay, so let's crack this pack and then we will move on to another one. Femia. Femia is good. This hand's slightly awkward with the mana, but I'm gonna keep it, and we're gonna start lead on a Scryland to see if we can't hit an untapped land on 2. Because if we have an untapped land on 2, this hand becomes very good. Found a couple of untapped land actually. In fact, yeah, one untapped land just means that we're in a significantly better position with this hand. So don't need that second Thought Erasure without the land. So digging for the land. Okay, that's fine. So play the Fabled Passage here. We'll fetch up a blue source, and then we can play the Temple next turn. Slightly inconvenient, but it's not the end of the world. We do get Thought Erasure this turn, which will be good. And imagine this is the Temur element, or the Nissa Elementals deck that we're going to be playing after this. So, no, slightly different deck. Let's take the Uro. We like Tamio, and let's scry that to the top as well. They can craze for 2 if they want. Not a massive deal. Yup. I'm gonna fetch up a green source here just so we can make sure we can cast Cavalier, because that's what I'm searching for with this Tamio.
I would like to test a new hypothesis. Let me aid your research. Come on, opponent. Finale for 3, right? What have they got? Potentially the play an extra land guy? Could be that. Risen Reef, okay, so they are probably just playing the Elementals deck. Your aggression is noted.
Do we have a land in the yard? We do have a Fabled Passage in the yard. I think we're probably just picking up a land. Well, let's start with Binding. Then I can pick up a Shock Land instead, because I would actually rather have the fixing.
I have learned much from my ancestors.
And then we can go Timurit Calls the Dead. Exile a Wolf Willow Haven, make a 2/2. Yep. One playing really slowly here. Come on. Right, so we are exiling their Uro and their Nissa, I guess. Take the finale, it doesn't really matter. And then we're exiling a binding to make another zombie. Let's go for... Do I want to go for Little Udo? I think I want to go for Little Udo and try and hit a land so we can play another 3-drop. Okay, we missed there anyway, so... Feel like we're not winning this one, but... yeah, we're not winning this one. I feel like Agonizing Remorse is potentially useful. Ashiok stopping the search is as relevant as anything else here. Noxious Grasps and Aether Gusts are all pretty good here too, so let us cut... Quasi Duplicate's probably unnecessary. Maybe we don't need these Remorses. Cut the Murderous Riders if we've got better removal. Let's just wing it like that. On to play. Right, so we fetch up an island on one, and then we've got a good curve. This is basically the issue we had with the last one, was that we didn't quite have the untapped mana coming the way we wanted it to, so at least we do this time. Arboreal Grazer, sure. Thought Erasure you. Let's take the Risen Reef. Sure. Yep, send a message. Alright, we'll cast Timuric Calls the Dead. Just don't want to play into Mystical Dispute if we can avoid it. Certainly on a turn where they wouldn't have otherwise got to cast it. Like, they may have wanted to counter my Uro. So don't really want to do that if we can avoid it. Keep one on top. Have 6 mana, it could just be a Krasis. Get rid of this binding. Play Polychronos. Dispute this if they want, that's fine. I'll come back bigger later. And maybe it was just a castle they had. So I gain 2 life and scry 2, which is fine. See what's coming. Well, we don't need that, but I'll probably take another Polychronos. Cast Udo. Hit them for 2 here. Assassin, sure. Can blink the Grazer and put a land into play if they want. Okay, so they're out of action, so they don't have anything in their graveyard. I think I'm just supposed to Uro here. And then let's binding. Hit a Cavalier, which they were going to draw, which would be nice. So glad we didn't get that out of them. Exile these cards from the graveyard. Start by Thought Erasuring them. See if we've yeah, hit a finale. Good. Okay, they're done. Okay, good bit of disruption there was just enough. So I think I'm just gonna stick with the same plan. The difference between hitting the stuff on curve and off curve is absolutely massive with this deck. So hoping that's enough for us to have that difference. Yeah, this one's good again. Thought Erasure on 2 is basically where I want to be at, so especially given how quickly they can get all their stuff out. Do need to be cautious if they play an island here, because then they can counter it. So I might just binding here just to. Yeah, I think I'm going to binding just to avoid them being able to Mystical Dispute my Thought Erasure. We hit a Cavalier off them to be able to exile, so that's fine. Okay, they'll get another blue here, hold up that dispute. We need to get blue here so we can Thought Erasure. Okay, they didn't, so we do get this Thought Erasure. So yeah, let's start on this. Krasis, big boys. Gonna take a Krasis. Oh, they ripped a Risen Reef. That's so good. That makes my Thoughtseize take or Thought Erasure pick there real bad. Let's go Breeding Pool.
About any lunar anomalies you have experienced.
Just pick the Thought Erasure back up here.
Never forgotten.
I'm gonna play a Krasis, so need to be able to try and interact with what they're doing. Really need them to not steal my stuff with this agent, otherwise we are just dead. So. Yup.
You're making it difficult to work.
Get a blue. Get an island. Let's go for another Thought Erasure.
To the library.
Let's Thought Erasure them then. The rest of the stuff we can't really do anything about, so it's just going to be taking the agent. Don't need another binding at this point. Then I'm going for Uro. There's the Thought Erasure. It was one down. God damn it. Yup. We don't really have too many catch-up mechanics in this deck, which is something to consider if you want to play something like this yourself. You will, like, we're spending a lot of the time behind here, and we don't really have a whole lot of we don't really have a way to be able to get back ahead at any point here. So we are basically at the whim of whatever the opponent's doing. Like, our deck might still be doing something powerful, but at that same point, we're not really achieving anything without it. So let's just shock this in, and let's hope they don't have a mystical dispute. Ugh. I have to take the agent. Probably need to keep that in my hand as well. If I rip, maybe I should have bottomed that thinking about it, because if I want to, like, if my out is casting Polychronos and fighting stuff, then I actually need the land there to be able to fight anything. Finale for 4 is this for an Omnath. What is the 4-drop of choice? Another Resume, sure. Yeah, we're dead in this one. So let's do one more game with this deck, and then we'll move on to the second deck I've got lined up for today. Got some other stuff I need to do. Need to do some pop videos as well, because I know I haven't done anywhere near as much of that as I should have of late. So need to get some of that recorded as well. So busy afternoon of content creation, but because the Magic stuff is new and fresh, and a lot of you have been watching the stuff on YouTube, I figured that it was going to be better for everything just to get this up and going just now. So that's why we're here doing this right now. So don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, ring the bell. Obviously doing quite a lot of content at the moment, hoping to get out at least one video a day of various content. So these will probably go up Monday, Tuesday, just to try and split it out a little bit more. That definitely wasn't what I clicked, but that's okay. It was going to be a close one, the first one anyway. It was a bit land light, but this one's better, as much as we're still missing a land drop. So looking for some action. Timuric Calls the Dead is going to be good enough. Okay. Are we digging for that? I hope we were digging for that. No, they weren't digging for that. Okay. So some kind of Bant deck. So need to make sure we get a green source with this, so we can at least try and cast these Cavaliers on time. At the moment we are certainly not doing that, so
I can no longer
one green
stand
source.
by and watch.
Bounce the goose.
Might be a bad idea.
Okay, we've got our green source now, so let's cast Timuric Calls the Dead. Hopefully we hit something here so we can make a 2/2, which we did. So it's all good. As I say, this is the last match with this deck. Then I'm going to move on to playing the Teamer Nissa deck. Or Nissa Elementals, or sorry, not Nissa, Thassa Elementals that people have been playing. That everyone seems to be talking about. We're going to give that a bash. We're not opening this, are we? I just don't think this deck's particularly well set up for this kind of stuff. But even if we make another zombie here, like, what is that really achieving? Well, we found an Uro, I guess. Let's find a forest. Let's kill the Nissa. That card is obnoxious and offensive. Why did they print Nissa? All that kind of stuff.
I'll protect you.
I think it's time for Uro. So I really want this Polychronos. Can put the I can put the Fabled Passage into play first and fetch, and then play the Temple. Yeah, let's do that. Then it means that we just need to an untap land, so Polychronos can fight something next turn. So that's a start of what we actually want to be doing. So I'd imagine they'll trade in this Teferi for the bouncing the Uro here. The escape cards are kind of awkward against Teferi because of that, but yeah.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
I needed the mana, needed to try and accelerate there, so wanted the Polychronos as well, so not the end of the world, but not ideal. Another Nissa, probably not going to be that one.
Protect that which cannot protect itself.
Hopefully they get
Rise,
a bit too aggressive and oh yeah, that. Let's double block some lands, eh? Yes, attack me. Trying to stabilize is difficult here, but
Do not assume I am fragile.
yeah, this deck's just kind of clunky. It doesn't have really the right answers to be able to deal with anything. So no real kind of catch-up mechanics, like similar kind of Sultai decks that I've played before. I've had like Casualties of War or something like that to be able to kind of push over the top and give you something to be able to catch up in this situation. So like a Casualties of War here would let us kill the Krasis, kill the Nissa, kill a land, which would be very good, obviously. You bouncing the Polychronos? That seems unwise. Like, by all means, bounce a Polychronos. Yeah, okay. I'll replay my Polychronos. Don't you worry. And I'll fight your Crisis. Or your land. Actually, let's just opponent be real slow. Let's move on. Alright, Noxus Graph deals with all the Planeswalkers. Probably want the Remorses. Cavaliers are probably too expensive for this matchup. Just like not resolving a 5-mana spell. Like my 5-mana spell is worse than theirs, so I kind of want to just be trying to cast two mana spells and lots of them rather than going the other way. Let's try and get rid of these. It's not that good. The tokens just get bounced. Let's try this. Not ideal, but hope everyone's having a fantastic weekend. We are currently not doing very well with this deck, but that's okay. We are going to move on to another deck after this one, so stay tuned. It should be a better one. It's one that a lot of people are playing high up in Mythic, and that I've seen online, so we should have a little bit more success with it in theory. I would love to go first. This hand's garbage. This hand's much better. Get rid of the binding's kind of good just because it's gonna let us rebuy this Fabled Passage. So Fabled Passage is finding an island because we don't need to cast any of the other things early, so Agonizing Remorse on 2. Is that true, actually? Don't think it is anymore. Because now we get to Binding and Agonizing Remorse next turn. So we get to Binding first, and if there's nothing good in our hand, we could potentially like exile an Uro from the graveyard. Binding. We hit a Nissa. Yeah, let's Agonizing Remorse. We've not got a whole lot going on here, so we'll take the Teferi. We'll have to deal with the other stuff as they come, but at least that stops them doing anything until at least turn 4/turn 5, so buys us a whole heap of time. Just exile 2 cards from the graveyard, doesn't really matter. Yeah. Okay, that was a reasonable set there. Got a little bit more mana online. Get to pick up Fabled Passage this turn as well. Make sure we hit our land drops. But yeah, picking up the Fabled Passages means we can actually get the Uro back this turn. Because we're going to put Fabled Passage back in the graveyard. So this is going to go and look for an island. Then we're going to get the Uro into play. Exiling. I think I want to keep the Fabled Passage because I've got this other binding. Well, that's slightly inconvenient, but we'll cast that next turn. Got another Uro. That's a good one. Backup Uro there is excellent. Because I don't think they'll be able to deal with this one this turn. Or that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping they can't deal with it this turn. Okay, they're just casting Nissa. That's fine. That means that something's going to have to get in the way of Uro attacking Nissa here, so... And then when they end up... Oh, wow. So is Nissa just dying here? I feel like Nissa's just dying here. Like, surely you can't just be throwing that land in the way. Kill your Nissa. Opponent sheds a tear. We've got some lands in our graveyard. Let's... Can't cast that anyway. Let's Thought Erasure. Back up Nissa. You're wanting to Ashiok me, that's absolutely fine. I'm just going to keep drawing cards off my Uro. Yeah. Okay, so they hit nothing relevant. Get rid of my second Uro, but doesn't really make a difference to us here. They have a land drop, but they're still a couple of lands away from this Agent of Treachery. Okay, they're one land away from this Agent of Treachery. Imagine this Hydra Cross is now going to stay back because the error they made last turn. What are you doing, opponent? Okay, you just want the Ashiok to die. Let's make a 2-2. Yeah, Crisis for 4 is fine. Let's attack for 6, hopefully find a land. Perfect. Did I have enough land anyway? I did have enough land anyway. Well, I'm not sure why it looked like I didn't. Fight that thing. They're gonna get to agent me anyway, so I just need to kill the thing, so. Yeah, they go to 11, they'll steal my Uro. I'll get Assassin's Trophy my Uro. Ooh, that's an interesting one. Let's start there, shall we? Oh, I don't want to look at the graveyard first. Yeah, that can go away. I'll quite happily trade these things off. Oh, I don't have, where's the black mana gone? Oh, I don't have any black mana. It's fine. They get one of Uro and then I get it back, so it's fine. It's not the end of the world. I just thought I thought my color. These, like, having drawn all the basics is sometimes painful. Need to actually check the colors of mana I can actually make. Oh no, that bodes well. Crisis for 6. Well, let's start off by looking at your hand. And then that'll give me enough cards to get the Euro back. Trigger. Murder Strider's a good one. Traces for 8. Sure. Attack me with this one. Don't want to attack me at all. Kill your big Krasis. Attack you for 6. Another Murderous Rider is a good one. They want to trade here, that's fine. Gonna Tamio uptick for. What do I want to name?
An excellent informant for my. I think you will find my notes helpful.
Guess I kind of just want to find Thought Eraser. I'm through 3 Thought Erasers and all the Remorses. Yeah, okay, so we got 1 discard spell left. Stop emoting and get on with it. Right, okay, we're done with this deck. Let's move on. Opponent's taking forever to make any game actions, so let's move on to the next deck. So this deck was interesting. I don't think it's very good, but there's a lot of sweet things going on. I feel like it needs a catch-up mechanic. The engine of binding Timuret, Tamio and Cavalier was powerful. Only having like 2 payoffs kind of felt weird. And these kind of have payoffs, but they're not really payoffs. Sideboard didn't quite feel right either, but the deck was interesting. I'd certainly recommend giving it a bash. There's probably something you can do in here to tweak it, make it slightly better, but we're going to move on to the next deck for just now. So thank you for watching those on YouTube, and we'll catch you in the next video.